Today I'm sharing 10 ways I've simplified my life. We have been on a journey to minimize and become clutter-free for the last 5 years. I've reaped so many benefits from that, so I wanted to share those with you today. Number one on my list is we simplified the most used areas in our home. For instance, the kitchen, the hallways, our living room, and I've tried to make those areas the most simplified because that helps us to function better throughout the day. It helps us to get in the kitchen, make breakfast, make lunch quickly, get what we want to get done. And also those are the high traffic areas, so we are coming in and out of our house around our kitchen area. And I just find that the more that area is simplified, the easier it is for me to get things done. Now, we do have more items in our kids' room, and that's fine because we're not using that area all the time. I recently noticed that 75% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So I would love it if you could just hit the subscribe button to join my channel. Next on my list is creating a capsule wardrobe, a minimal wardrobe, whatever you want to call it. I have found that simplifying my wardrobe has helped me so much when it comes to getting ready in the morning and just not having to deal with a lot of clothing management, whatever you want to call it. I just find that I have the things that I love to wear that are comfortable for me, that I know I can throw on quickly and will look okay. Now, I am a stay-at-home, work-at-home mom, so it might be a little different if I had to dress up and go to a job and wear a certain type of uniform or a certain type of dress code. I might have more in my closet. But for me, I've found that around 30-ish items, shirts, pants, or less, 30 or less, has really helped me to streamline getting ready, focusing on what I love to wear and getting rid of everything that doesn't seem to work for me and trying to make those decisions quickly. So as soon as I know that I don't like a certain thing in my closet, I try to declutter it right away. Third on my list is simplifying my mind. So I know we always tend to focus on the things in our house and the clutter being items, but I've found that simplifying my mind has helped me to get more done and to feel a lot lighter. And what I mean by simplify my mind is just I try to write down anything that I have continually circling around in my head. It's a brain dump that I like to do. I have a notebook and I will just open a page and just write down everything that I'm thinking, everything that I want to get done, and just empty out my mind essentially so I don't have these reoccurring thoughts. I find once I write it down, it's now out of my mind and I can always refer to those notes if I want to try to remember what I was thinking about, but I don't have to have these thoughts circling in my head constantly throughout the day, I guess trying to remember what I'm thinking about. So I just do this brain dump, wake up in the morning and get into my office. I'll just write down anything that I have in my head that I'm thinking about. And I have a calendar and sometimes I'll write it there, sometimes I'll write it in my notebook. It really doesn't matter. I just find writing it down helps me to release it from my mind and it just helps me to function better throughout my day. Editing your furniture and the way your house is laid out for the stage of life you're in will help simplify your life in so many ways. Getting rid of things that you just don't use very often. We had a set of 3 nesting tables that I finally decluttered because we never use them. They just sat in the corner, they took up space, they took up added visual clutter to our home. Well, I got rid of those. I've never been happier. I didn't even realize that it was kind of bothering me to see those. And once they were gone, I feel our house actually looked better without them. So I feel just editing out the furniture that you don't really need because furniture is quite bulky and it can get in the way. You don't even realize. One thing that my mom recently did was they decluttered so much they did not need this really tall set of drawers that they had had forever. It had been my set of drawers when I lived there as a child. They kept it, put it in their room. Long story short, they decluttered enough that they didn't need that anymore, but they kept it because they were used to it, but it was really bulky, and they finally got rid of it. Their room looks so much better without it. It looks so much bigger. There's more space. It looks airy and bright in there in that spot. If my family was watching this, they would laugh at me because I really am not that great at meal planning or just knowing exactly what we're gonna have for dinner each night. But the one thing that has helped me to simplify this a lot is doing repeat meals. And I know that's boring for a lot of people, but we have things on repeat that we do over and over again each week, one of them being spaghetti. So it's so simple to make a sauce and the noodles and then maybe a veggie on the side, and that is a meal on repeat for us. We also have certain things that I repeat during certain seasons when it comes to meals. So chili in the winter and, hamburgers or a grilled type thing in the summer. There's just a lot of things that I know work for us. I know everybody will eat. It makes everyone happy. We enjoy it. So I just repeat it over and over and over again. Something that I've recently done is to simplify and limit my kids' activities. So they go to school, they have their school activities, we have homework, of course, and then we usually have them in one program at a time. And that's just the easiest way I've found to simplify this process, is to only have them in one extracurricular activity. And I don't feel as if they're missing out. I don't feel as if I'm missing out on anything. It gives us more time in the evenings to relax and have family time. It gives us more time on the weekends because we're not at sporting events all weekend long. And of course, there's different times in our lives where we'll have a few more activities, a few less. But recently, I have really brought us down to the bare necessities of doing things. And at this point, we only have them in one extra class one time a week. For fun. It's an art class, and that's just what's working for us right now. And it's surprising if you feel stressed out or overwhelmed. Take a look at the amount of extracurricular activities and things you're doing, because by taking some of those off your plate, sometimes that can really help to simplify and slow your life down into a more manageable pace. Next on my list is just saying no more often to things. And this doesn't have to be invites to parties. For me, it's saying no to things that maybe we feel as if we have to do. So how do I explain this? Like, I feel sometimes as if I need to be on different social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I need to be interacting with friends and family or even people with my business. And I've decided to say no to a lot of that. I do have a Instagram account, but I'm not on there very often. I actually took the app off of my phone, and I only go on there on my computer at a certain time because I found that eats up so much of my time going onto that app. Even if I'm just looking at friends and family and fun accounts, it can just eat up an hour before I know it. And it just wasn't making me happy. And by taking that off my plate and just saying, I don't need to go there, I don't need to be on all these different computer apps and social media apps, I found so much more time by not being on all the different social media platforms. And I'm not just saying this because I do this for a business and I make these videos. I'm saying this even as a mom who might get inspiration from these things once in a while. It can just eat up a ton of your time. And I found that it was eating up so much of my time. It wasn't a choice I was making to be on there. It was more of an addiction, like checking my phone and looking and going down a scroll hole, or whatever you want to call it, a rabbit hole that you just wonder, where did my time go? And then next thing you know, you realize an hour's gone by or 30 minutes have gone by. And so I have been saying no to all of that recently. and taking it off my phone. And I've found I have so much more time in my day to really do the things that I really want to do. Years ago, we got rid of cable TV and we got Netflix, and over the years we've had different streaming services, but lately we don't have any streaming services whatsoever. So we have the Roku on our TV, we have YouTube we can watch, and all the other free type things on our TV, but we rarely use them, and that's why we don't have the streaming services anymore, because I have stopped watching TV. I only watch YouTube once in a blue moon with my husband. If he's watching something interesting, he will say, hey, you should watch this. I do research for my videos, but other than that, I don't watch anything. I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. And I was very surprised when I stopped watching the news, especially. I feel so much more relaxed, stress-free. I still know what's going on in the world because I do subscribe to a newsletter that comes to me through an email that I can sit and read if I have the time that day. I still know what current events are going on because I go online and find those current events that I want to read about, but I'm not at the mercy of what the news station decides to decide at that moment what's popular and what I should be watching. So I would say if you feel stressed out, try to stop watching the news because it will probably help you relax. And what I try to keep in mind is that the news station is a money-making thing. They are trying to get viewers to watch their ads, to watch their videos, and therefore they put on a highlight reel of what they think you should know and what you should watch. And honestly, I don't like that. I want to choose to look up the news stories and read them and see what is really important rather than just whatever they decide at that moment. I just want to mention that this is what I'm doing to simplify my life, and I completely understand that maybe you don't want to do these things. I'm not telling you to do these things. I'm just sharing what is really working for me and what has helped me to simplify my life and gain so much more time and energy and just happiness in general. So another thing that I've done is I've stopped feeling as if I need to follow certain rules that society has put upon us, like wearing makeup every day, or just a lot of different things. Like I've had comments saying that I put my sheet on the wrong way. That kind of stuff just does not matter to me. I don't feel as if I need to follow these rules that someone made up, along the way in life. And I just do what I feel is best for our family. I do what makes me happy. And I don't feel as if there's like a wrong way to fold a sheet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, like these rules that we've made up, you have to take what will make your life better and then leave what doesn't work for you behind. And I've started to realize that more and more as I get older. Simplifying our financial situation, having a budget, staying within our means, and living frugally has really helped us to simplify everything. It takes the stress off of our shoulders to not have to worry about, are we going to be able to pay for this or that? We don't have any consumer debt, which has helped us to simplify everything. And it's just a simple process of making sure that we are not spending more than what we're making every month. My youngest son just had a major growth spurt, so I took about 3 minutes here, went through his drawers. Now I know what we need for this coming winter and cooler months that are coming, and all of this can be donated. A bonus tip is I stopped sweating the small stuff, and I have a little story for you. My oldest son, for whatever reason, 2 weeks in a row when we had spaghetti, he was walking his half-empty bowl, so there was still half a thing of red spaghetti sauce in this bowl. For whatever reason, he accidentally dropped the bowl. This happened 2 weeks in a row. He accidentally dropped the bowl and it went upside down and shot across my whole rug. Now, in the past, this is something that I would have freaked out about and been like, why did this happen? Oh my gosh, emergency, let's clean it up, whatever. and I would have been really upset that the rug had this big spill across it. Now, was it irritating? Yes, of course, that was irritating, especially the fact that it happened twice. Like, how does that happen 2 times, accidentally dropping the bowl of spaghetti? Regardless, instead of sweating the small stuff and freaking out, I just said, oh well, it's already happened. There's nothing I can do about this besides clean it up. And so I just said, let's clean it up. He helped me clean it up. We scrubbed up the rug. And now again, in the past, I would have been upset that the rug was now stained. There's just no way to get red spaghetti sauce out of a rug, honestly. And luckily the rug has a lot of pattern in it. It didn't really matter. But now I tell myself when this sort of stuff happens that it's just a rug. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get freaked out about this. And by doing that in every part of my life, it's just taken the anxiety out of everything. It's taken the stress off of everything. And that's just a personal decision I decided to start making, is just quit stressing the small little things that in the long run really do not matter. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, hit the subscribe button and you can click right here to continue watching. Bye.